nobody like this. You ain't seen nobody like this. You hear my sound all over town singing. Whoa. You ain't seen nobody like this. You ain't seen nobody like this. You hear my sound all over town singing. Whoa. I think it's something in the water. If you wanna take a sip, but be careful what you wish for. The faint of heart can't handle it. Everybody wants a piece of someone else's prize, but it ain't free, it don't come cheap. Only the strongest will survive. You ain't seen nobody like this.
Good evening and welcome to San Antonio Soccer Roundtable. My name is Harry, the host tonight. Rafa, you're bringing up the Rafa Power Index, I believe, here tonight as well.
Yes, sir. The often imitated and never duplicated RPIs for San Antonio. They make the debut.
Then with the 50-50, I know you do the statewide one, which keep waiting for Jay to show up, but they kind of let me down yesterday against Southwest. But we'll get to that here.
I think Southwest may be on that list.
I'll say Southwest looked good. Both the varsity and JV for that here. And to me, it was just more how they connect with each other, because AJ played on the JV side, and he spoke with them as, I guess, the club team that they play for. A lot on the varsity have played together for a long time, so they have that
chemistry,
and then knowing where they're going to be. So I was very impressed with Southwest, but we'll see where they fall in the rankings here. I do want to touch base because it's been a while, a couple of weeks since we do it. The showcases have been over. There's still a few that's going on for the smaller districts here. Your thoughts on the showcases? Anybody that kind of stood out to you, or any showcases that kind of stood out? I know for me, the I-10 one over, in Katy always is good. I know you're a fan of the one up in Dallas. Locally, I went to the NISD. Northeast was a good one, and I braved the Smithson Valley freeze out for that here, where they had the JV on the grass field and the varsity playing on the main stadium there in Smithson Valley. So a lot of good action, both boys and girls for that here. For that here, I know you and Steve have been out to a couple already. Coach Cano, obviously, with his girls, but your kind of thoughts on the showcases.
Yeah, there've been some good matchups. Like I said, you went to the Ranger Classic. I went to the North ISD Girls Showcase and the NAISD. I went to the Edgewood Showcase. I went to the Alamo Heights tournament. Got to see the final for that one. That was a really good game between Lee and San Angelo Central. Some non-district games. Me and Steve did our first joint play-by-play at Back West for the which was a kind of like a playoff game between Dripping Springs boys and Johnson. That was a really good game, exciting game, back and forth, a lot of action. Like I said, Dripping Springs able to get the win on that one, and we have I think we're probably going to do another one tomorrow. Not giving where we're going to be at. Just tune in on Facebook and find out. But I know we're in for a doozy on this one. But there's going to be some great games going. Like I said, going on tomorrow. But like I said, this past 2 weeks, and like I said, now it is one of the reasons why I haven't put like any rankings yet. I wanted everything kind of marinate. So, but we had some great games, some teams went out of town. Like I said, like Southwest went to the Georgetown Showcase. There's some that went to Dallas, Houston. Someone that went to the Valley. I think the J girls went down to the Valley, so they did well down there. So it's a good opportunity. Now we're kind of settling now with district play, maybe except for some of the 4As. There's some that are still in non-district play, but I think by the time the end of these January, we'll start district play for pretty much everybody.
And so we're going to start with TAPPS just to kind of catch everybody up of where things are at for that here. I'm going to start with the boys. The Division 1, District 3. So I got it spelled out so that way I get it right this time. St. Dominic, 2-0. Central Catholic's only played 1, but 8-0-2. St. Michael's, 5-3, 1-1. And then SanAntonio and TMI, kind of not off to the best years, but it looks like this one's going to be between Central Catholic and St. Dominic as far as who gets the top spot in Division 1, District 3.
Yeah, Central Catholic, like I said, they have a coaching change this year. With one of my buddies, Coach Bart Valerio, who I coach with America. So he's doing a good job there. It's going to be a real key game because I know they're still doing some non-district games. I think next week they'll go back to the district, and that's going to be a key game for them against Dominic Savio from the Austin area. I think whoever, if they can get a win versus them, that'll get them kind of some momentum and kind of locking into that to that district title. But don't count on St. Michael's. Like I said, they could be a spoiler, as well. And then we'll see if Antonian and TMI kind of pick it up. I know TMI is moving up from Division 2 to Division 1, so it's some adjustment. But like I said, it's still early. Like I said, there's still plenty of soccer to play, and hopefully we can get at least 3 San Antonio teams in that to get into the playoffs.
Well, we got to see how the playoff structure is. I haven't been able to find the playoff structure yet through TAPPS. I know we're closer to that than we are, obviously, with UIL for that here. Division 2, District 3, St. Mary's Hall's 2-0 in District. SA Christian 10-2-1, 2-1. They did lose to Brownsville St. Joseph for that here. Brownsville St. Joseph 5-2, 2-1. So to me, a 3-horse race up the top, but don't sleep on Laredo as well. And then, Victoria, St. Joseph, and St. Anthony, the Yellow Jackets. A long year. It looks like it's a long year for them, unfortunately.
Yeah, I guess the surprise has been St. Mary's Hall. They, like I said, they've kind of been in the, they've made the playoffs, just haven't been contending.
The 3-4, yeah.
Yeah, the 3-4. Now they're in the mix, and like I said, as San Antonio Christian, like I said, every year they're always between them and St. Joseph's going for that district title. So it's, like I said, it's going to come down to those 3 who wins it. Can Loretto St. Augustine kind of keep, lock in that 4th spot, kind of keep Victoria or St. Anthony's to kind of sneak up on them. So things are kind of shaping up there in Division 2, and like I said, now we're going to head up.
Division 3, District 5, Corpus Christi, St. John Paul II, 3-3, 1-0, Geneva 1-0. Real early on this one here. Looks like a pretty even division or district for District 5 here. Still way too early to say how this one's going to shake out or who even's the favorite, if you ask me.
Yeah, if you look at Geneva, I think they have a good chance of claiming that district title. As I said, it's going to come down to John Paul II. Christian School for Castle Hills. Like I said, they haven't played a district game yet, but like I said, they have an opportunity to try to sneak in. And we'll see what Holy Cross can do. Like I said, I know they're 0-1, but they're kind of struggle a little bit early on with their non-district games. Hopefully, maybe that can kind of get them more prepared and going into the district play in the coming weeks.
And Division 3, District 6, Church JP2, 7-4-1, New Braunfels Christian Academy, Kerrville, and the Atonement. Haven't played any district games as of yet, so hard to get a read through here, but I'm assuming Church JP2 and New Braunfels Christian historically have had very, very strong teams, so I wouldn't expect that to change.
Those two, like I said, year in, year out, they've been battling it out for the title. Like I said, it's going to be a great matchup when they meet up. We'll see what the other 2 teams like Kerrville and Atonement be a little spoiler into the district as far as the district title race.
Your volume's coming in and out, Rafa here.
Can you hear me now?
A little bit better, yeah. Division 1, District 3, St. Michael's 7-2, 2-0. Antonio and the Lady Apaches 9-0-4, 1-0. TMI respectable 7-5-2, 1-1. St. Dominic 0-1. Incarnate Word 0-2. Still pretty early, but the Lady Apaches and the St. Michael Warriors and even TMI look like pretty solid girls team so far in the early season for TAPPS.
Yeah, with TMI, like I mentioned, they moved up a division. So they played a really tough non-district play. I think they anticipated that this is going to be a really tough district coming in. So I think they'll still be in the mix. Antonian ladies, like I said, they haven't lost a game. Like I said, they have 4 ties. I think the favorite's going to be, like I said, is St. Michael. We'll see how they match up with them and also with TMI. And we'll see what the Lady Shamrocks can do, see if they can get into that.
Division 2, District 3, San Antonio Christian 8-5-1, 1-0. St. Mary's, the Lady Barons 1-0 in district, and St. Anthony's 0-2. So 2 tough losses to get started, and so far Victoria St. Joseph hasn't registered anything as of yet. But to me, like I said here, San Antonio Christian historically has been the better team as far as out of these 4. Of course, St. Mary's has had some good teams, especially under Coach Cano through here, and it looks like that they're back being competitive at 3-1-2 again this year, and maybe they can contend with San Antonio Christian.
Yeah, that's like I said, it'll be down to those 2. But San Antonio Christians, like I said, year in year out, even though they're kind of rebuilding a little bit from last year, like I said, they're gonna. So I think they'll still end up winning the district title. We'll see what St. Anthony's can do. I mean, the last 2 years they've been surprising. They're like the surprise of the district. They were able to get into the playoffs. We'll see if they can get it together before get a couple wins in, try to sneak in.
Division 3, District 4, Geneva 5-4-1, but 4-1 in district. Shirts JP2 11-4-2, 2-0 in district. New Braunfels Christian 5-7, 2-1. San Marcos Academy, the Lady Bears 1-1. Atonement 1-2. Holy Cross 1-3 in district, and Corpus Christi JP2 0-3. Last year, Geneva and JP2 went toe-to-toe. Looks like it's shaping up that way again. I know if you look at the overall record for Geneva, it doesn't look that great, but district-wise, they've got off to a strong start once again.
Yeah, I think they've already met. I think they've already played each other. They recently played each other.
I can tell you here. Hold on, girls. District Division 3.
Yeah, they just recently played this. I think this week. I did see a post on them. I think JP2 got the. Yeah, I think they got the victory.
Yeah, the 13th 2-1 loss for Geneva. So yeah, another close game for that here. But yes, and that was away. That was at JP2, a 2-1 loss. Yeah,
so JP2, like I said, pretty much first place in district. Like I said, like you mentioned, it's going to come down to those 2. But also keep an eye on the Braunfels Christian. Like I said, they were a team last year that kind of snuck up on some people, and they kind of played a little spoiler. The big surprise is that San Marcos Academy. They in the mix. We'll see if Atonement and Holy Cross can kind of get it together. One of those 2 get the last spot.
Yeah, so interesting. New Braunfels Christian plays JP2 the 22nd and the 25th home and away series right there for that here. So that's it for the TAPPS. Moving over to the UIL standings here for that here for Region 4. We'll go through these real quick here if you want to point out anything that stands out. Lago Vista, Northeast, or Austin Northeast Early College Raiders, and Austin Eastside Early College, and Burnett played a district game. They won. Still pretty early. Lago Vista 4-0-2, Northeast Early College 4-1. Any teams to be on the lookout for, District 25 for the boys?
Well, the key game this week was actually Northeast Early College versus Austin Achieve, because Austin Achieve is the defending district champs, and Northeast got a big win versus them. And then, like I said, Northeast dropped down from 5A to 4A. They're gonna probably be the team to watch. Especially more likely they're gonna go to the D1 route. Remember, they made a run last 2 years ago. And I think this year they have the pieces back again. And I wouldn't be surprised if they be one of our the Division One representative Region 4.
And as we get further through the season, when we get a little bit more clear picture, we'll kind of differentiate between the D1 and D2 as far as for the top four, along those lines here. But, it's just way too early to even be going through that here. Looking at District 25 ladies, Lago Vista 4-1, Burnett Bulldogs 4-2, Georgetown Gateway 4-2, the Northeast Early College and Austin Eastside all got victories here. Anything that sticks out to you on this one?
Yeah, Georgetown Gateway's been the team that's been dominating this last few years, but now that you have Northeast in, also Burnett's one of the teams that also to keep an eye out. They've made some good runs in the playoffs. I think though they're them and the surprise would be Lago Vista. Like I said, I think it's going to come down to those two, but also keep an eye on Northeast. I think Northeast they have the good girls program as well. I think they'll be in the contention. But what you see those four teams, I think more likely that's going to end up being your playoff teams.
District 26, more locally, Bandera 6-2-1, Marble Falls 4-2-1, Wimberley a slow start at 2-4-1, Canyon Lake 2-3, Fredericksburg also a slow start 1-3, and to me the shock Davenport still hasn't got a W as of yet on the season. So thoughts on 4A District 26 for the boys?
Yeah, the biggest change, like we mentioned the last show, was the Marble Falls. I think we think it's going to be Marble Falls and Davenport. Like I said, Davenport haven't won a game, but like I said, they have challenged themselves. They are playing some very tough competition. So by the time it gets to district play, they're probably hoping that that's going to pay off dividends and get them prepared for that. So I think those will still be your two favorites. Wimberley too. I think they'll get back on track. But the big surprise has been Bandera. Can Bandera maintain, the way they're playing right now? Like I said, they're gonna have challenges, once they go up against Marble Falls and Davenport and also Wimberley, and maybe even that Canyon Lake team too. So it's gonna, like I said, this is still a tough district, even though Bernie's no longer there. Still a tough district, but it's gonna be a fun one too. Then, like I said, I think they're a couple of weeks away when they start district play.
And for 26, Fredericksburg 8-0-2, Wimberley 6-1, Davenport the Lady Wolves 5-0-1, Canyon Lake 4-4, Marble Falls 3-3 and one draw, and then Bandera the Lady Bulldogs 3-5-1. You look at the records, especially compared to other 4A teams. This district, and we kind of knew it was going to be stacked, but even Bandera is kind of stepping up a little bit stronger than I think we thought initially.
Yeah, the big surprise, if you look at it, is Fredericksburg. They're undefeated. They've got some good quality wins. They may be the dark horse of this district. I still think the two favorites are going to be Wimberley and Davenport. Like I said, those two teams are challenging themselves, playing some real tough competition for non-district play. The other team is Canyon Lake. You know what they did last year? They had a couple upset wins last year. So don't count them out of the phrase on the, like I said, out of this district. a little surprised the Marble Falls girls is kind of a little down. I thought that'd be a little bit more competitive, but like I said, we'll see coming to district play. But this, like I said, this is probably one of the toughest districts in for girls soccer and probably statewide. But this is going to be a fun one to watch. Like I said, and we'll see in a couple weeks how these teams once they start matching up against each other.
District 27 boys, Memorial 5-1-1, Lavernia 3-3-2, Gonzales 2-2-2, SanAntonio Cole making the move up 1-3, Kennedy. To me, kind of surprising. Yoakum and Lulling a little bit. Well, Lulling not so much because this is their first year. Yoakum a little bit surprised here. Still being 0-3, but still very early. Your thoughts on Lavernia? With their overall record doesn't impress, but if I looked at their schedule, I believe it. They are playing some quality opponents. Before district.
Well, with Lavernia, like I said, if you look at the T-shirt, this is the tournament they went to. Shout out to Sulphur Strings on
Yes,
the T-shirt.
The elite.
Yeah, so they've challenged themselves. So they played some of the elite teams in 4A. So don't let that record fool you. Memorial, like I said, they've last few years, ever since they moved on from 5A to 4A, they've been a consistency and they've been doing, like I said, they've won the district title. I still think it's going to come down to those two teams. Keep an eye on Gonzales. I think they're going to bounce back from last year. I think they're got the pieces there to make a run to get into the playoffs. I'm surprised Kennedy's at 1-5. Maybe a rebuilding year for them. Like I said, last year they did well, and like I said, Cole first year in UIL. Like I said, we'll see if they can. Like I said, make strides here in this district and maybe make the playoffs the first year.
So moving over to the 27 for the ladies, Lavernia 6-1, Cole 5-2-1, a little bit of a surprise. Yoakum 5-2, Lulling also 2-0-1, Gonzales 3-2-2, Kennedy 5-5, Memorial 3-6, and the young women's leadership 0-4. You got to be impressed with Cole and Lulling, right? I know it's still very early, but still to be able to get a couple of quality wins, at least in the overall district before district play.
Yeah, for this district, it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be for the taking. Spots 2, 3, and 4, it's going to be up for grabs. I know Yoakum had a good run last year. I think the Cole girls have been the surprise. Like I said, not they haven't played soccer, high school soccer, because like I said, they did do an independent, pretty much a independent schedule the last few years. So they, like I said, they've played some of these teams in the past. And like I said, I think they have a good shot at getting into the playoffs. Like I said, Lulling, first year program, can they kind of shock the world and kind of be able to get that last spot? Or another team to keep an eye out is the Lady Apaches from Gonzales. I think they could get that last spot, and we'll see if Kennedy girls can also get it together. I know they had a good team last year. We'll see what they do this year.
So District 28 boys, Pleasanton's already got a district win over Poteet. Floresville, though, 6-1. And then the non-district schedule hasn't been kind to, unfortunately, most teams in this district here. But to me, this division kind of shapes up like the old division with Southwest, before it kind of matured a little bit more. Where I think Floresville has the better talent, the better system, and the other teams are trying to catch up. Although Uvalde being where they're at, a little bit of a surprise, historically.
Yeah, normally, like I said, it's kind of. I think some of the records are a reflection on who they're playing, and I think they kind of realize, especially with the teams from District 26. They have to challenge themselves and they have to, be able to match that level of play and that speed of play too. Kind of looking at the schedule from especially like with Uvalde, they've played some really tough teams, some 5A teams, some 6A teams. So, but that's going to prepare them, for district play. Floresville, like I said, they're off to a great start. But I think what's going to come down to, I think Uvalde, Floresville, Pleasanton those are the three that are going to fight for the title. Somerset, like I said, it's their. I think they'll end up getting that fourth spot, but can they fend off Hondo? I know Hondo's been knocking on the door the last couple of years. I hope maybe this is the year that they finally kind of get in.
So District 28 on the girls' side, very similar. Floresville 5-4-1, and then Pleasanton, Uvalde, Hondo, Somerset, Poteet, Pearsall, all had record-wise going into district not looking good. I know Uvalde started out slow last year as well, and then came on. In Pleasanton, I think also was same similar situation here. But your thoughts on the 28 for the ladies?
Yeah, like with the boys, the same thing with the girls. Just them kind of getting it together. Um,
And these are younger programs too, by the way, for the most part.
Yeah. Some of them are, like I said. I know Uvalde's been involved in Pleasanton. Has been there longer, but they've established themselves, especially here in 4A. But I think they've, like I mentioned, like with the boys, they have to play tougher competition because they know once they get into that second round game, they're gonna have, like I said, 26 4A has been the kind of the Achilles heel for a lot of these teams, like 7, or
moving
29.
to 29. St. Bruce Academy, Beeview Jones, Corpus Christi, Toulouse Midway, each have already got district wins. Your thoughts on this district? I know it's not a lot of data coming in, and especially if we get to 30, 31, and 32. With the idea schools, it gets a little bit sketchy for that here. But your thoughts kind of on the Corpus Christi area for the 4A?
Yeah, for this district, usually the team that's been dominating the district has been the London Pirates. Year in, year out. Like I said, they've made a run last year. I know they had a pretty good game last year for the boys. And then you have other contenders in here: Beeville, Thistle Midway, Ingleside. Keep an eye on Ingleside. I think they could do some damage this year. And also,
they
Rockport.
mentioned that they've been dealing with some injuries. If you follow them on X, so they're saying that they are getting healthy. So I know they mentioned that they got the early district loss, but they're it sounds like from the coach that they're expecting better things to turn around. And then for the ladies, Rockport Fulton district, Beeville Jones lost the first district match, but not a lot on this one here. Your thoughts on this one?
Well, the surprise is that Cal Allen girls with a goose egg, but don't let that fool you because they've made it a state a couple of years ago, and like I said, they've matched up well with the teams from 24A. I think what they've done this season, I think they realize they have to challenge themselves, especially way the format goes for the playoffs. Knowing that if also watch on the 50-50, the one that's been dominated for 4A girls has been like Salina. So they have to play against those caliber type teams just to prepare for a team like that, or like a Lumberton or Bay City or Salado. So I think when the district starts to kind of roll now, like I said, you'll probably end up seeing Cal at the top list, and then also keep an eye on the London girls too. I think they got a good program as well.
And Cal Allen will play district against Kingsville King tomorrow. Moving to 30, not a lot of information for both the boys or the girls for that here. 31, Progresso, really the only one that's updated anything, and there wasn't hardly anything updated on the 31. And then 32, not a lot updated. I'm going to try to see if I can reach out to somebody down in in the Valley, in Brownsville area to see if we can try to see if we can get some sort of records, maybe with a an ISD or something like that to see if we can get that. Any thoughts on 31, 32, and 30 for that here as far as anything at this point, or we would just want to wait till we get more information?
Well, with Progresso, like I said, they won the Sulphur Springs tournament, so they're probably going to be a contender here for Region 4. As far as on the boys side, same thing with the boys side for District 31. Keep an eye on, like I said, now that Valley View's dropped down, them and the Hidalgo are going to go kind of toe to toe. Especially now that Hidalgo's former coach is now with Valley View, so it's going to be, I'm sure, with that whatever happened in that situation, I'm sure he's probably going to be gunning for them. So those probably, as far as boys side, probably those are the 3 best teams down there. Girls side, not as much. As far as I think it's wide open there for the girls there in the Valley. I think like I said, whoever can get hot during the play into the playoffs, we'll see what they do. But like I said, it's going to be a tough challenge once they run into teams up here in the San Antonio area for